back in the classroom. Titus Cooks, Wenatchee Valley Tech Center, Wenatchee, Washington. Here we are, making gumbo today. Gumbo's simple to make. Biggest part about gumbo, get your mise en place ready. Your put in place ready. Just doesn't sound as cool when you say put in place. Mise en place. Okay, we're gonna get started. So I already did a little bit of ahead of time because I wanted to make sure we get it done and I could eat some of it right in front of you. So take a look here. This is what we're starting with, our roux. Now everybody remembers the roux. It's 1 part fat to 1 part flour. So I did 1.5 cups of oil and 1.5 cups of flour. And I let it cook. I let it cook for about a half hour. That's why I did it ahead of time. So see that nice brown, really golden, like more darker than golden. It is so beautiful. Perfect color for my roux. That's going to give so much flavor to our gumbo. So let's get started. I went ahead and cut ahead of time. I did my Trinity, our Trinity. We're a team. There's no chef in team. Okay, so we have green bell pepper, onion, and celery, right? I threw in a little garlic, so we'll get that going into our roux. We're going to get that just going to cook it in there, let everything, all the flavors start working together. It's not too hot. Okay, let's see. We got a good camera angle on that. We're going to stir it all in there, and this won't take too long at all. I promise you. And so while we're waiting on that, you can see the other ingredients I've got. I've got some sausage, some andouille sausage, a nice pork andouille sausage. We're going to add some shrimp to it at the end. We're going to add some okra at the end. I'm a huge fan of okra. Got a little bit of crab. We're on a school budget, so of course we don't have the real crazy great crab, but we have the imitation, but it's not really imitation. Imitation is art. Okay, so let's get we're going to get our spices together, because once this starts cooking, we start adding things to it, everything's going to happen so quick. You're going to say, how did he do that so quick? This is so good. I'm going to put in we'll start with a couple bay leaves. Let's put in 2, 1. Let's get some whole ones. Let's throw those in there. Just throw it directly into that roux mixture. Now remember, if you do remember, pull those bay leaves out before you serve it to somebody. You'll always find a customer that wants something to complain about, and bay leaves are something they love to complain about. There's a leaf in my food. Or there's a bug in my salad, but it grew up in that salad. What can I do? That was always my response. I thought I was so clever back in the day. Somebody would say, hey, there was a worm in my salad. And I said, well, it's grown out in the fields. There's worms out there. At least you know it was grown by professionals. It was grown out by a gardener, somebody who knew what they were doing. Okay, I got so sidetracked there. I did a tablespoon of thyme. I'm going to do 2 tablespoons of bay leaves. What else can I put in? There's some oregano. I did have oregano here somewhere. I misplaced it. That's all right. Eric, get my oregano. That's my Alexa. Okay, I'm going to stir. Oh, look at that. Getting such a perfect color. I'm going to add my sausage to that. That's about 2 cups of sausage right there. Oh, man, I love that. There's nothing better. The newest thing, it's no longer Alexa, it's Eric. Eric, get me a tub of water. I don't need it. I'm teasing. Okay, so I did 2 tablespoons of oregano. I'm going to do some dry sage. Let's just do 1 tablespoon of that. And we're going to add some paprika. We'll do 2 tablespoons. I guess I could have, Eric, next time open the lids for me ahead of time. All right, we're going to, oh yeah, that's coming along so nice. Okay, so here we got our spice mixture. This is kind of your Cajun spice mixture. That will go so good in this gumbo. And let's see, I cooked some chicken ahead of time. I did everything ahead of time today, so you didn't have to watch me do boring things. Okay, so now oh, that's smelling so good. So we got our roux mixture, our Trinity in there. We got our sausage, we got our chicken. And now we're gonna add some chicken stock to that. So I have like about 4 cups of chicken stock. And look how that bubbles up. That roux is really hot. It's got a bunch of oil in it, really hot oil. So you gotta be careful when you add your chicken stock to that. That stuff will bubble up, could burn you, and we don't want no burns, right? Oh man, look how close we are already. This isn't taking me long at all. Okay, it's getting really thick, so I'm gonna add a little more water to this. And I think that's gonna do it. All right, bringing it up to a boil. I'm gonna add a little bit of this spice mixture to start. Let's just do a couple tablespoons to get started. We'll do 3 tablespoons. The last thing we're gonna add is our gumbo filet, which is sassafras. Sassafras is a plant, and I was reading about it last night, and they say sassafras is potentially carcinogenic. And so what they do is they feed it to mice, and they say if a mouse eats its weight in sassafras every single day its entire life, it could possibly get cancer and die. And so if you make me eat my weight in sassafras every day of my life, I promise you I will get cancer just to spite you. Okay, so we got our sassafras, our gumbo filet in there. Let's do a couple shots of hot sauce, about a 1/4 cup maybe. That's nice. That's, flat out hot sauce. Hot sauce. I thought it was like a Louisiana style, but it weren't no Louisiana style. Look at that. Everything's come together so quick. I feel like I must have done something wrong. I'm going to taste that and see what we need. Know what we need? We need Worcestershire sauce. We're going to do about a 1/4 cup Worcestershire. You know that Worcestershire is the new soy sauce in this millennia. I just made up another story. Okay, we got some shrimp. We add shrimp near the very end. I'm going to add my crab, about 1.5 cups of crab. Shrimp I always add right near the end, only because it's going to cook pretty darn quick. Shrimp cooks quickly. It's not that big. These are even frozen still, and they'll cook quickly. But once shrimp cooks, it's going to start getting a little chewy after a while. And so when I serve gumbo, I wait until I'm going to serve it, and then I'll cook the shrimp and add it to my gumbo. But look at that. Can you get in there, or is that? That's a good one. Nice and thick. Look at that. That's so perfect already. That's just how I like it. I'm going to chop up a little bit of parsley for our garnish. And then right here at the end, I'm also going to put in some okra. Now okra, the truth is, it's probably my favorite vegetable. When I grow it, I eat it right off the vine. It doesn't even make it into the house. It's that good. But it's also really slimy. Got this really great sliminess to it. If you don't like slimy, you're not going to like okra. But if you don't like slimy and you don't like okra, you're no friend of mine, right? So keep that in mind. It's not like I'm looking for friends, but anybody, please be my friend. Okay, now I got this. Parsley is just for our garnish on top. We're not going to put it in there. What happens with parsley is it kind of dulls with heat, so we don't want it to lose its color. Okay, let's taste it one more time, and there are my spoons. There they go. Okay, I think we made that. That was almost like instant gumbo. Made that as fast as I make ramen. Okay, let's add, you know what? Let's add a little bit of tomato to that. Not too much. Let's add about a cup. There's some crushed and diced tomatoes. And usually what I'll do, I'll let this cook for a while. I wouldn't serve it right away. I'd usually let it cook a good hour just to kind of simmer there on the stove and get ready. But since we're here and we're paying Super Bowl advertising prices for this camera work, we're just going to serve it up right now. So let's get a bowl, and we're going to put in some gumbo into this bowl. And guess what I made ahead of time? Guess what I made? Nobody can guess. I made some rice ahead of time. I bet you know what, that shrimp's not going to be ready, but this is a guy that ordered it with no shrimp, right? We always have one person. Oh, can you not put the shrimp in, or can you not put chicken in? It's always something. There we go. So we got a lot of that goodness. We got our rice. Look at that, just steamed rice. Everybody remember our rice recipe? 1 cup rice, 2 cups of water, a little bit of salt. It doesn't get any simpler than that. And then I had a little fancy service thing, but there it is. Put some rice in my bowl here. Really pack it in there. Nice work. I'm gonna go right on top. Oh, look at that. It looks like we meant to do that. It's leaning a bit, the Leaning Tower of Gumbo. Looky there. Can't argue with really good food made really fast. See what happens when I prep stuff ahead of time? I came in early this morning. I said, I gotta make sure I have everything ready or I'll be a failure, and I'm not a failure today. You got that, Mom and Dad? Your son's made it. So that's our gumbo. So simple. There's a little bit of chicken. There's some andouille sausage. There's crab. There's shrimp. Okra. Gumbo is, I just learned this too. Gumbo is it means, it's a South African word for okra. East African, West African, something like that. North African word. What do you need there? Okay, look at that. They just wander through the kitchen aimlessly, like children of the night. Okay, so get in the kitchen. Sharpen your knives. Keep the text coming. Had a text from a guy in Europe this morning. He said his name was Napoleon, and he only sent me an emoji, and his emoji was like this. Didn't work. And keep on cooking. Cooking's fun. Look what good cooking can do. Be careful. Always stir your gumbo. Make sure it doesn't burn. That shrimp is ready. Look, I called it shrimp. I called it chicken. So this guy, then he decided, no, I did want 1 piece of shrimp. So right on top it goes, and we send it out to that customer that's causing a ruckus. He's not wearing his mask.